And the first thing I want us to look at this morning is that growth process is not what you do when you are good alone, when you are convenient, when you are happy. It is those things you do to be good. Like you are exercising now. It is not when you feel good alone you exercise. You have to do exercise to be good, to feel okay. And there's this phenomenon about exercise that once you exercise a day, you are adding a day to your life, to your lifespan. So if it's about finance too, if you are training about finance, you are training to be financially okay. So it's not something that has to be conditional. It's not something that has to be when I'm okay, when I have money, when I have a little thing in my pocket. That's not what we are talking about. It's something that you have to be deliberate to and consistent to do it. So, and if people are afraid of failing, failing is a pathway to success. If you have not failed, I don't trust your success. If you are saying you have been successful, you have to show me the scars that you have. Failure is a pathway to becoming successful. It's one of the CVs you need to have. It's one of the requirements, the requisites you need to gather for us to believe that yes, this guy is indeed successful. Another thing is vague plans that are not good. Plans that you don't prepare. It's like someone who does not prepare. You are planning to fail. So vague plans follows vague performance. If you don't prepare very well, you will perform woefully too. And things that get scheduled are things that get done. If you don't schedule your activities now, you don't put it down, you can't get them done. Your mind might even omit it, but if you have scheduled your day, you have to follow suit. So let's go to what we have this morning. Wealth creation class. Wealth creation class. And I need to get you annoyed again this morning. I need to get you annoyed. Wealth creation is that. Let's start with it. If you want to create wealth, you must be able to sell a product or sell a service. You must have something that you are selling, either a product or a service. And if you want to really make wealth from it, you must understand this analogy that it is the best known product that people buy. It's not the best product. People are not buying the best product. They are buying the best known product. The product that they know best. The product that they feel that is the best one. The product that they see all the time. Let me put it that way. The product that people see all the time is the best product to them. So the best known is the one that people buy. The best known product. So everything you need to do is sell your product. Make sure it is the best known. And there are no bad marketers. Okay, there are no bad products, rather. There are no bad products. It is bad marketers we have. If you have someone that will market poison for you very well, people whose mouth are sweet, you will eventually see people eating that poison. So that is why in business, there is no bad product. It's only bad marketers we have. So if you want to really create wealth, one of the things you need to do is to reduce waste. If you can handle or control waste, you are in for wealth creation. And that is what will lead me to say, do the impossible with the available in wealth creation. You have to do the impossible thing with the available resources. It is not until yesterday I was saying it's not until you have 20 million that you start a business. Let's still go back to what we did yesterday. Imagine I'm seated inside my house now, and one guy walking, he says, "Sir, I want to build a bank." Imagine they go to Tony Elumelu or Dangote. Said, "I want a bank, and my dream is to own a bank." and I just want you to give me 200 million, sir. If I'm the one, I'll preach the gospel of sense into the person. The gospel of getting sense. Because if you really want to start a bank, there must be a track record of how you have handled people's finances well. It is not that you just come up one day and say, sir, I need 200 million as business capital. Who will give it to you? That is how you have to do the impossible with the available. Start doing something with what you have. If it is 5,000 naira you have, start that business. I've heard of people who grew their business from 1,000 naira to multi-billion naira corporation today. People who started with 35,000. People who started with 5,000. People who started with 100 naira. I've had someone who started business with 100 naira. And it's a big business today. So the available you have at hand is what you use to do the impossible. A bird at hand is better than 9 in the forest. If someone is saying, I have birds, so, and they are in the forest, you don't have them. It's the one you have with you that is yours, not the one in the forest. So reduce waste. Work with what you have at hand. And most importantly, build a circle of influence. If you see rich people, they will say something, Olowo shore Olowo, Talika and Jekini. Don't be in that T category. Be in that Olowo's category. Don't be a victim. Ensure you are rich. Why is it that rich people are keeping a great circle of influence? Is to maintain wealth. In their circle, money flows. This one is into construction, this one is into finance, this one is into this. So when you build a great circle of influence, you see you maintain each other. You keep a circle of influence, you are inspiring each other, you are helping each other, you are watching each other's back. That is how to stay wealthy. That is how to create wealth. Build a strong circle of influence. And have this ideology that is quality people only. Quality people only are the ones you want to work with. Quality people. Not people who are parasitic in their approach to life. So keep mutually beneficial relationship. Close that door, please. Keep mutually beneficial relationship. Relationship that are mutual. It is not that this person will be collecting all the time. It's not giving in one way. That is a parasitic relationship. If you are going to create wealth, you don't need those type of relationship. Mutually beneficial relationship. This is getting to commercial kind of a relationship where both parties are benefiting. And one funny thing about victims, if you are mentioning poor people now, some people will be offended. Why, when they are talking about poor people, why are you thinking that it's you they are mentioning? Victims. That's why I prefer to call those people victims, because they don't like to be called that name. You will see that poor people, victims, the relationship they used to have with themselves is to borrow money and they won't pay the money back. The friendship they used to keep is they will borrow money from each other, and when it is time to patronize each other, he will still not patronize his friend. Go and search very well. That's what happened between those circles of victims, circles of poor people. They will gossip, borrow money from each other. When one is not even around, this gossip they will continue to give about that person. Have you seen a rich man who is a gossiper? Have you seen a billionaire gossiping around? Those are the questions you should ask yourself. In their circle, they believe there is no one perfect. All they look for is excellence and competence. In the circle of rich billionaires, what I have learnt, at least if I don't know everybody, I've known some. But what I've seen is that they maintain quality relationship, and what they are looking for in that relationship is honesty, excellence, and competence. They don't care whether you are an humanizer. That one does not affect them in any way, whether it's in their area of business. They don't care whether you are a drunkard. That's your problem. But what they care about is honesty, competence, and excellence. It is in religious centers that they can be telling you now that you are a drunkard. You have to watch it. But when it comes to business, what they look for in business relationship is honesty, competence, and excellence. So those are the things you should look out for in wealth creation. And one of the things I've learned so far is that in business relationship, don't go into business with someone that has nothing to lose. There must be something to lose at both ends. You see us make agreement with clients now. Why? Because you have protected yourself and you have protected the client. The client knows what he should not do. The organization knows what they should not do. And there should be a penalty if anybody breach each side of the agreement. So if you don't have something to lose, if the person you want to do business with does not have something to lose, it's not the best adventure. There must be something both parties should be able to put at stake in that business transaction. Monetize pleasure. If the time it comes that you want to have fun, make it, monetize it. That's how people think. Business people, some people will say they are capitalists, but they are making money. Monetize pleasure. Even if it's possible, monetize your sleep. In the sense that this is a time when somebody, look at people who travel around. They travel for vacation and they are still vlogging. They are still posting. They are building, they are marketing their lifestyle. There's this young entrepreneur now. He went into an interview and someone was telling him, you like to show off. And the guy replied, personally, it's not show off. But if you call it show off, this is what has been making my business to grow. Lifestyle marketing. We are going to treat it one of these days. Lifestyle marketing. Marketing lifestyle. It makes people trust you more. They believe this guy, okay, if this person should be able to do this, if he has this amount of money committed to him, it won't fail. He won't fail because he is already living that life already. So it's not your money he wants to use to live the life. Honest relationship. Avoid making excuses. These are luxury that rich people will not, successful and rich people will not afford. Afford to be making excuses. Excuse is just like giving yourself reasons to be a mediocre, to be at the state of mediocrity. If you are in that business of making excuses, you are cutting yourself out of possibilities. If you are looking for excuse, like yesterday I told us that to make excuse, you have to be constructive to make excuse. You have to be skillful to make excuse, because you want to add one to two to say, and that is what all these people who are not successful usually hide under. They make excuse. Why is it that you are poor? Is it not because my father did not send me to school? Is it not because my rich uncle refused not to support my business? What of people who don't have uncle and they succeeded? What of other people who don't have parents and are rich? So those are just ways of encouraging and supporting your mediocrity. So cut out excuse from your life. Ensure that you are rather taking actions, positive actions towards growth, towards development, than making excuses. And one of the vehicles that help wealthy people to be wealthy is multiple businesses. They have multiple businesses. Diversified investment. Multiple businesses. See, if you have one business in this economy, it's suicide attempt. Attempt to murder is having one source of income with the kind of economic reality that we are facing now. So having one source of income is an attempt to do what? To kill yourself. Go and make research very well. Every successful person that I know has subsidiaries. The mentors I follow, the businesses that I respect, has many other subsidiaries that they are adding up to build their businesses. Some still growing, some at the state of infancy, but all are focused at building a solid wealth portfolio. So multiple streams of income. And now, anytime I say this, I remember people who think they have multiple streams of income, but they don't know they have multiple streams of disaster. There are businesses that you cannot actually bring together. Someone who is selling rice, beans, plantain, and someone who is selling cloth and palm oil, especially white fabric. One business will later collapse the other. So there are people who are not running multiple streams of income, but multiple streams of disaster. That if one decides to destroy the other, it can wreck both businesses. So, and one thing the rich does that make them wealthy is that they have a percent that goes to their savings for the purpose of investment. If you are an employee who wants to create wealth, pay attention to this part, please. If you are an employee who wants to really create wealth, a certain amount of your earnings must go to a particular place, a savings account or whatsoever you created for it, to answer for investment. Not those ones saving money from salary to buy bone straight. Not those ones saving from salary to go and club. Savings for investment. That is one of the ways to create wealth from working as an employee. So you are saving those money to invest, so that while you are working, money is also working for you. While you are there collecting salary, money is also working for you somewhere. Investment in trust funds, into syndicating organizations, real estate, short let apartment, joint ventures. Your money is going there, shares, stocks. These are things that makes you financially free at the long run. While you are working somewhere, your money is also working for you as well. And develop a thick skin. This is a good, because when you are creating wealth, naturally people will hate you. Poor people hate rich people, and they won't tell you they hate them. They will tell you reasons. No, mi ò hate ẹ̀ náà, ṣebí bọ̀ àṣejù ẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù, ó like show off. Ṣé òun nìkan ló máa kọ́kọ́ ra ọkọ̀ ni? Ṣé òun nìkan ló máa kọ́kọ́ kọ́lé ni? Naturally, poor people are wired to hate the rich. The victims that poor people like to attack most are the rich, and they keep consoling themselves with their colleague. They will tell stories of how they saw. They can even say the sacrifice they put at the junction is that rich man in their community that went to put it there, and it could be somebody else. So rich people are always the object of attack of the poor. So you have to develop a tough skin. Let them say. That's one of the tough skin you are developing. I don't care what you say. Whether you say I do this or do that, it's not my concern. Develop a tough skin to create wealth. Develop a tough skin to create wealth. So that they say kill someone to make that money. And one thing about our environment is that our media as well are not projecting wealth very well. If you watch Nollywood and some of these films, at the end of it, they will tell you all the time, it's Ìsàlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́gbìn. Those are the summary of the movies they broadcast to us. That is why the brain of a black man is not totally wired to support prosperity. Someone that has felt that it is only through crooked means you can make wealth. What do you want the person to believe? And people console themselves with spirituality about wealth. When they don't have money, that's when they feel that we are serving God, we are going to church. It's good. Heaven at last is the goal. Heaven at last is the goal. And that is not how God designed. When you get to heaven, some people will even if you enter heaven, if you eventually manage to enter heaven, you will still be crying there, because you will see the type of life you're supposed to live here on earth. So I'm supposed to live this kind of life on earth, and I suffered my life throughout like this. Money is good though. Wealth is good. Tell yourself, I will never be poor. I will never be poor in my life. Yeah, but you don't need to say it alone. You need to act it. You need to take profitable actions to become rich and successful. And one of the things you should not do if you want to create wealth is don't castigate rich people. Don't talk of them in a bad way. Because if you keep talking about successful people, rich people in a negative way, psychologically you are cutting yourself out. Because you believe that there is no one that can have money without fraud. And that is what our society is preaching now. That people can have, when they see a rich man now, it did not offend them in any way. They say, the greatest joy of an adult who wants progress, to see young people succeeding. But instead of you to support them, Instead of you to say good things, you always believe they make that money from a crooked way. And that is why your own has not come to, because you believe it's from a crooked way. And what you don't celebrate, you cannot attract it. So that's why a lot of people are not attracting wealth yet. Invest in knowledge. Rich people invest in knowledge. Wealthy people ensure that they get the knowledge of something, of a business, before they invest into it. They can use their money to invest in the knowledge of a business before they source for the capital. Because if you have the knowledge of a business, you know how it works. You know the rudiments. You know the in, you know the out. You know the alude and apade of the business. So you will be convenient, joyful to go and source for money to run that business. But something you don't know, that is when you enter into it, you know that these are the pitfall. And you have invested so big in it. You went to invest in the business when people are coming out of it. So rich people invest in the knowledge of a business. That's why they are richer. But a poor man will borrow money to run a business you don't know, and in run into more debt. You have borrowed money, you will still lose in the business. When people are running out is when you went to borrow money to invest. Greed. Greed is one of the reasons why people will continue to be perpetually poor. Such people don't give. Giving is it opens doors for you more. And I've learned in life that someone who is a giver finishes tax faster than people who don't give. If you give, you are buying the loyalty of people to help you run something successfully. People will leave their way, go out of their way to assist you. It's a law of nature. It's not something you have to over spiritualize. That's how life has been structured. You give and get. You give, you take. You give, you take back. Invest in knowledge. Invest in knowledge of a business before you venture into that business. Get knowledge as much as possible before you go into business. Smart work. This is where we used to get it wrong. They say work hard, work hard. Iṣẹ́ lóògùn iṣẹ́, múra ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi, bàbá rẹ lè lówó lọ́wọ́. It's true, but that is one part. It's an incomplete truth. Sorry, look at our grandfathers. People who have gone ahead of us. If they talk of generation who worked hard, they should be the one. They work to farm kilometers, walk back home with logs of food. Who works harder than those type of people? But what they forgot to do is to add smart work. Smart works improves your hard work to give you a level of fortune that hard work can never give you. I have heard and I agree that hard work can only get you between the range of 10 million to 50 million. That's what hard work can give you. If you put smart work, you begin to talk in hundreds of millions. If you now want to become successful, get network. Network